Dear brother, what's going on, y'all? If y'all was following me from yesterday, I asked y'all to come on the weekend with me, man. My brothers, I need my brother's support. Yesterday, I was in Philly eulogizing some dear brother's mother, man. Got right on the plane and came to upstate New York. Got a little bit of rest last night. In a few hours, I'll be headed to do a banquet, black tie affair, for the father of the woman who gave me a kidney, saved my life, man. I wouldn't even be part of the Dear Brother podcast. We wouldn't even be together, man, if it wasn't for this young lady saving my life by giving me a kidney. I was on dialysis in 2017. I was like 37 years old. And when I turned 40, man, God made a miracle happen and I got a kidney, bro. And so I'm here to honor her mother and father for Black Tie Gala. I'll be teaching today, man. So roll with me this weekend, man. It's big. Then I'll be teaching at their church tomorrow morning. But yeah, man, I chilled all day, got some rest, ate some fruit. If y'all watched the other video about getting in shape mentally, emotionally, socially, physically, went on my juice fast, man, been fasting, got some good advice. In fact, one of y'all brothers sent me some good advice about ordering some protein and eating fruits and vegetables, man, because I've been on that. In fact, I had to switch up a little bit, had to eat something because even though I was trying to fast, I take anti-suppressant medicine, man, to keep my kidney. And that was tearing my stomach apart, man, like literally. And so it was good advice. Thank you out there, brother, man, who gave me the advice about ordering the protein. But yeah, man, look, we getting in shape mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, because we can't be great inward, man, and our bodies are falling apart. You got mission, you got things to do, bro. So you got to be in shape, whatever shape that is, man. So yeah, I'm happy to be up here, y'all. I think in about an hour, I'll actually be leaving, man, getting dressed in my all black. I'm gonna look fly, but to go teach, man, and share. I want to share a little bit about what I'm teaching today, man. Today, I'm teaching I'm talking about my concept is don't get caught staring. Don't get caught staring. And just because this man is in his 80s, man, has been a leader for a very long time. A lot of times, man, when people follow great leaders, some of you are leaders, some of you are following great leaders. And if you're following, you're still a leader. But sometimes followers, people that's following you, can get caught staring at the good things you're doing and missing the mission that they should be doing based on what you're teaching, right? And so what I want y'all to get from that is as you're leading, whether you're leading your family, whether you're leading a church, whether you're leading an organization, a young people's organization, whether you're leading a masjid, a synagogue, whatever you're leading out there, I want y'all to know, some of you leaders on your job, business owners, you're leading your staff, just make sure the people following you don't get caught staring at your vision. And you got to make sure that you make sure they see a vision for themselves so they can walk out the things you've been teaching them. See, good leadership is not just having a bunch of people following you. Good leadership is when you can dig up the gift within them, stir it up, the gift that's within them, and cause them to walk it out. That's the sign of a good leader. It ain't how many people follow you, bro. It ain't how many people applaud you, but how many people became better because of you. Right? Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player and that played the game, in my opinion. Kobe's a close second, right? But we ain't getting into that debate today. Maybe another time. But Kobe, I was just watching his documentary. Y'all seen the documentary. If you didn't, check out the Mike documentary. Phil Jackson was saying early in his career, they was winning games, but they couldn't win championships. And then one day he sat with him and he told him, you know that you got great players on your team? I want y'all to hear that. And I want y'all to feel that. I'm talking about the documentary, but I feel like somebody need to hear that. Do you know you got great players on your team? Do you know that? You got great players in your family, your kids, your business partners, your constituents, your family. You got great players on your team. And when he told Mike that, they went from just looking good and winning games to winning championships because Mike looked around him and said, I got good players on my team, right? When Mike became a team player, when Mike changed his game to make the people around him better, they became unstoppable, won 6 titles, right? You can win the same way once you realize you got a good team around you. But I feel led to talk to some of you brothers right now who you're married, you're going through some things. Listen, brother, ain't nobody that's married going to ever just have it easy, have it connected, right? You're going to have some bumpy times. But sometimes you got to look at your lady again and say, yo, it's greatness in her. right? And you got to rekindle that no matter what y'all been through. In fact, seeing the greatness in her is what will make you fall back in love, because that's what made you fall in love for the first time, right? So realize she a big part of your team. Again, y'all got staff and people around you. Remember, they're a big part of your team. Find the greatness in them and make it show up in them. And that's when you'll start winning championships, whatever that championship is in your life, man. But that's what I'm teaching today, man. I want to talk to his church and his the other churches that follow him, his family, because this man is in his 80s now, right? And sometimes people can get caught gazing at you and gazing at what you've done and how great you are, that they miss that the reason why you led them was to eventually walk out their own purpose, man. That's the most important thing, to walk out your own purpose. Some of y'all have had great leaders in your life. And sometimes you can get caught gazing at them. Even when they pass away, you get caught gazing like, oh man, they gone now. What will I do? I know I went through that when my father passed away. He was only 59. I was 27. We had just hit that point. Some of y'all know about this. When you hit that point in your father, with your father, where y'all go from being father, son to friends. Because at that point, man, I was married. I had kids. I was going through things. And me and my dad became friends, right? And then boom, he was gone. That caught me in a way where it was like, yo, what am I going to do next? Like, what do I do? Who do I go to? What guidance do I have? But you know what it took me? It took me to look back over my father's life and see the things he taught me. Sometimes he taught me things verbally. Sometimes he taught me things with just how he walked out life. My father was not a perfect man. I'm not nobody a perfect man, but he was a man that loved me. He was a man that loved his family. He loved his wife, man, and he loved like being a cop and he loved the things he did, right? And so one lesson I never forget that I learned from my father. I was a very little boy, so little when you hear the story. He was carrying me on his shoulders. So I was a real little boy. I probably was like 3, maybe 4, right? But I remember my pop's old car. He was driving me and my sister around, and his old car broke down. We was like maybe 10 blocks from the house or whatever. But I remember it was so much snow outside. Like, I know I'm sounding like that old head, like these young kids ain't never seen snow like this, but real talk, y'all know, I'm 45. Some of y'all was my age. I remember the snowstorm of 96 and all them back in the day. But man, if I was 3 or 4 at that time, I was born in 79. So this must have been 80, 79. Y'all gonna get on me about my math, but whatever. 79, 80, I was on 80, 82, 83. Let's say 84, right? And I remember the car breaking down, and I remember my dad put me on his shoulders and putting my sister in his arms and walking through this heavy snow all the way to the house, right? And he ain't complain. He just picked us up and carried us to the house through all this snow and stuff. My dad gets to the house. He drops me and my sister off. Listen, this was so powerful to me. I was a kid, a little kid, and I remember this. He looked at my mom. My mom looked at him. He said the car broke down. He gave me and my sister to my mom. And I'm thinking he gonna come in, chill or whatever. Man, this dude, like, my mom gave him some coffee for a minute. He walked back out, boom, threw his hoodie on. He back out to get the car. He didn't sit down and say, son, this is what you do about life. None of that, man. But as a little kid, I remember my dad having that hustle in him. Number one, to take care of his family, right? Take care of his kids. He ain't let us be in the cold because the car broke down. He ain't tell us, look, this is what we got to do. He made sure we was cool first, right? And then he took us to our mom where he knew we would be comfortable and we would be safe. And then to turn around, go right back out and get that vehicle, because he knew, I don't remember what day it was, but he knew that was the vehicle. My mom didn't drive. So that was the vehicle he had to take me to school, me and my sister, drop my mom off at work, whatever the week was coming back up. And I just remember seeing that, and I learned a great lesson from that. That was one of the greatest lessons I ever learned from my father. That responsibility, that hustle, that drive to get it done for everybody, right? And as he passed away, man, I could have sat there like, dang, man, my dad died, this and that. And I eulogized my father, right, which was the roughest thing. But I could have been stuck right there, and I was for a little while. But then I realized I got to live out what this man taught me. That's one thing I said at the eulogy yesterday to this great woman's sons. I said, do you know the greatest thing we can do? Because they lost their last parent. Their father passed away maybe 6 months before. And I remember, telling them the greatest thing you can do, man, is build legacy. You got to build legacy as a man these days, bro. Legacy counts. It's not just what we have now. It's not the instant gratification of having what you have now. It's about legacy. It's about what somebody can do with the wisdom you left them, and what can you give somebody that's going to take them further, right? Money spends, but wisdom doesn't. Say that again, bro. Money spends, but wisdom doesn't. Is it important to have insurance? Absolutely. Bury yourself, have your family set. But what else are you leaving? What else are you leaving them for their future? What else are you leaving them? We got to leave our kids wisdom. We got to leave our kids knowledge. We got to leave our kids understanding. And we got to be a lesson of resilience. Right. So, man, listen, I don't know how I'm gonna craft what I'm saying today in there, but y'all helping me right now by like just let me talk to y'all. But man, that's what I'm talking about today, man. Don't get caught gazing, man. Don't get caught staring where you learn good lessons and you can stare at them good lessons, but a good lesson only becomes greater when you walk it out. Right? So for some of y'all, man, who have lost parents and lost uncles, lost good leadership, people that loved you and cared about you, man, as much as you miss them, the greatest thing you can do is walk out the lessons that they taught you. Walk out the lessons they gave you, man. Take that stuff into a greater future, man. That's what you got to do, right? That's the greatest thing you can do as a man. It's the greatest thing you can do. I'm sharing with you, all my brothers, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Become part of the Dear Brother Podcast community, man, where grown men keep growing. I'm out of town today, right? And so here I am, go out of town. I'm teaching, I'm doing what I got to do. Today, my daughter, I got twins. My daughter's going on her first college visit, right? And then my other daughter is at her opening track meet for the outdoor. Man, and I'm missing that, right? But I'm not missing it for no reason. I'm out here, I'm teaching. But you know what I made? You know what I made sure I did? I called my babies, man, and sent them texts, man, and called them, sent them pictures, love, 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 to let them know they not by themselves. You know, I'm really spirit-led, man. I try to be spirit-led when I'm doing these podcasts, whatever I'm teaching, man, whatever I'm sharing from my heart. And I want somebody to do that. Just catch that today, man. Sometimes you're not going to be able to be there for all your kids' stuff if you're working and you're doing stuff. Or some of y'all going through divorce, or you separated. You might got a children's mother who acting crazy. Don't let that keep you away from your kids. Somehow make sure you connect with your kids, and it don't have to sometimes be great, this great thing, man, but a text, a little note, like every day, man, when I'm making my youngest daughter's lunchbox, she's 7, I write a love note in there, right? I draw a heart and daddy, and sometimes I draw flowers and the sunshine, and whatever it is, man, I drop that in a lunchbox. It don't take much from us as fathers, man, to set our kids' life on fire. That's our job as dads, where mom is going to hug and kiss and laugh and joke and give them that nurturing. It's us that solidifies. It's us that teaches them those solid lessons, right? In fact, before I hit this record button on this, my son just sent me some pictures, man. I just took him to get a suit while he was home for spring break. A black suit, black bow tie. He had this gala to go to at his school, right? And I was like, man, make sure you send me and mom some pictures, man. Man, I can't wait to get off of this podcast, man. To look at I took a little shot, little look at him. But I knew I was about to record this, and I wanted to take my time and really look at the pictures, man. This kid looks so handsome and sharp. I can't wait to get off to text him like, yo, boy, you look like the most handsome dude in the world. Our words mean everything, right, to our kids, man. The man I'm serving today, his words have meant a lot to a lot of people for all the years he's been a leader. Yesterday during the funeral, that lady's words meant a lot to her children, and you should have heard the stories that people were telling during her funeral. In fact, it was so many stories, they almost made me late for my plane, almost missed my plane to New York. But anyway, the stories were beautiful because it said her impact, right? Make sure you make impact as a man. Make sure you make impact as a man, wherever it is, whatever you're doing, right? You're great, bro. Greatness is not about what you own, what you have. Greatness comes from inside. And I always said this, man. I think I'm gonna finish with this because I gotta go get fly so I can go teach, get my mind right, so I can give people good stuff up here in New York. But Make sure, man, that your words are meaningful, right? Make sure that when you leave something that matters. When I thought about my funeral one day, and this wasn't a sad thought, but I served all around the world, right? I really have traveled the world and served. And one of my things was, I don't want this big fancy thing. I want an old box. My casket, I want an old box made from some small third world country I've served. And I want them to put me in it, nothing special. I just want the hands that made it in a town where I've served and loved people, where I gave them everything, even if they ain't had nothing to give. And I thought about my, because I served so many people and I'm this leader guy. I knew, like, I know that my funeral will be big or whatever. But you know what I decided? I don't want that. What I want most is that I want my children to look at me in that box and be proud of dad. No matter what other people say, no matter what other people around the world say, I don't want anybody's stories to be greater than the ones I have with my kids. Because I was a road runner, man. I was out there trying to save the world, trying to help everybody, But then I thought one day, man, what if I do all this and my kids don't know who I am? What if I do all this and people got to come up to my kids and talk about their dad, and the people out there know more about me than my kids did? Nope, I don't want that. I want my children to know their father, to love their father, have stories about their dad that nobody else has, know things about their father that nobody else has. And I want the same thing for you, that the people around you, especially your children, will know you the most. Make sure you invest where the investment is worth it, bro. No matter what else you do in this world, no matter what else you do, bro, make sure that the investments you make touch your children and they got a legacy to carry, not just money to bury you or money to go on and live a great life. They can't live a great life without your wisdom. Make sure you do that. Bro, whatever I said today, I hope it blessed you, man. I just wanted to spend some time. I invited y'all to be with me this weekend. If y'all didn't see the last video, make sure you see the last video. I think it's called This Weekend Is Not About Me. So this is part 2 of that video. I might hit y'all later. I don't know whether I'll be out and about in New York, but tomorrow I'll make sure I talk to y'all in the morning before I go teach at his church, man. But thank y'all, man, for spending the weekend with me, man. You are my guys, man. You're my guys. Man, we're monetized now, bro. Y'all did it, bro. I remember I had 2 subscribers, 5 and 10. And now, man, I think we got 1,600, man. Y'all did this, man. We're celebrating this thing together. Before I go, I want to let y'all know I'll be doing some live shows every Friday. I'll do Relationship Fridays, where I'll be talking about relationships. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into our battles in relationships. We're going to get into it, a lot of this stuff. But most of all, we're not just going to be out here like the regular internet shows just talking trash. We're going to be men of understanding, men of wisdom, to see how we can fix this gulf in between men and women. We're going to talk about it, right? We'll laugh. Hey, man, we'll even hit some hard points that we've been through, but we're going to be problem solvers. Every Friday, I'll be doing Relationship Friday, and every Sunday, I'll be doing Spiritual Growth Sundays, both at noon Eastern Standard Time. So noon on Fridays, Relationship Fridays, every Friday, live show. Every Sunday at noon, live show. All right, Spiritual Growth on Sundays, man. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man, because we are monetized now. I'll be having membership groups, man, where I'll be doing, I got a book coming out. I got a lot of stuff that I'll be doing members only things for. So consider being a member of the channel, man. Consider dropping a tip, a super chat. Man, I don't even know what to call this stuff, but it's all available now. If I'm being a blessing to you, man, help me so I can make this channel better and brighter and greater, man. Thank y'all for hanging out, man. I love you. Make sure that you love you. I care about you. Make sure you care about you. Walk out this life, bro, with no fear, no shame, and no compromise. If this is your first time, it's your first time hearing it, follow me. If you're on this podcast all the time, say it with me. Yesterday was history, and tomorrow's a mystery. All you got is right now, my brother. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do about it? Hey, man, I'll see y'all on part 3. Thank you for hanging out with me this weekend, and I'm out of here. Peace.